Hey, it's the Right Rican. And before I get into the two stories I want to talk about, I first want to say um, prayers go out to everyone in uh, Louisiana who's, uh, especially in New Orleans, the New Orleans area that's without power currently, and they don't know how long it's going to take to restore the power. My thoughts and prayers go out to those people. I think we should pray for them and um, donate to the relief efforts once they start asking for donations. It's you know um, it's a serious situation that's going on there. But anyways, on to what I want to talk about, and what I want to talk about is this story here. I'm going to start with this story. This is crazy. A judge asked a mother if she got the coronavirus vaccine. She said no, and he revoked custody of her son. Ladies and gentlemen, this is fucking bullshit. There's no nice way to say this. You're revoking parental rights because she didn't get the coronavirus. And that's not the kicker. That is not the kicker. One, it wasn't even a custody hearing. It was a child support hearing. So no, the custody wasn't in dispute. What it goes here, the judge asked about the vaccination, and this is what she said. She said she was not she said explaining that she had adverse reactions to vaccines in the past and that a doctor advised her against getting inoculated. Now here's the whole thing. There's people who do get adverse reactions. It could be um doesn't have to be um because it's not has anything to do with any particular vaccine. It could just be the ingredients you used in making a particular vaccine. There's people who get anaphylactic shock when they get certain vaccines because of, let's say for example, the flu shot. They use eggs to make the flu shot. So if you're allergic to eggs, guess what? Can't get the flu shot. So I mean, I don't know what they use to make the coronavirus vaccine, but you don't know. Well, it could be as simple as, let's say they use a preservative they use to keep it from uh, getting going bad. People can have reactions to that. So there's so many different things that people, but the judge here says it poses a risk to the child. This is ridiculous. Um, the father didn't. He goes here. The father did not even bring this issue before the court. Here at New England Coffee, oh, sorry about that. So, and it's crazy when you read. Coffee, oh, come on. For over 100 years, right really? Here in New England. Sorry. But, and this is the crazy thing that's been going on. So she saw her doctor. Her doctor told her she recommended against getting it. And people say that's nonsense. No, it happens. But I mean, some of the things that how they've been encouraging people to get the vaccine. And when you look at it, it's like judges here have granted lesser sentences. It's been a stipulation of parole. I mean, these are ridiculous. You're judges. You're not medical experts. You shouldn't be mandating this stuff. I mean, government shouldn't be mandating this stuff, period. But there you go. I mean, this is what's going on in the court system. It's not about laws. It's about activism. And same time, these are what the judge is doing. I mean, family court's horrible. I mean, there's no there's no rhyme or reason when it comes to family court. You get a bad judge and forget about it. You get a bad judge and you're going to go through hell when it comes to child support or custody. If a judge has it in for you, you're screwed. And then if you try to request another judge, sometimes, you know, you may not get it. You may not get it granted. I mean, this lady has to um, appeal the decision, and you got to hope that it's going to get overturned on appeal. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. And I think it's ridiculous. I mean, how can these judges get away with this?
So you can count
This
on
guy,
every delicious
ah, I'm sorry. This is, I mean, these judges like this need to be fired. I mean, I don't know how it works in the family court system. You don't get voted in, so they need to be fired. I don't know if they're voted in or they're appointed or whatnot, but a judge like this needs to be fired. They have no business being a family court judge if this is what you're going to do. You know, she told you her circumstance and you didn't listen. So, but this is the medical tyranny that's going on right now, and people, you got to pay attention. It's stories like this that we need to fight. This judge needs to be. You want to talk about all these protests that go on? This judge needs to be protested. What's his name? His name is, oh crap, it's gonna start again. Okay, there you go. Good. Cook County Judge James Shapiro needs to be protested. Is ridiculous. As if it works for the left, we need to do some stuff like that too. Um, and so while all this stuff is going on, okay, like I said, you have this story. I thought that story was very important to show, like I said, the medical tyranny that's going on, and the judicial activism. But this story is scary. Big tech, woke finance cracked down on Flynn, Gateway pundit, and Bernsen in cancel culture purge. And here's the thing. So in recent days, Twitter permanently banned independent journalist Alex Bernsen. Google demonetized the Gateway pundit from its ad network, and Chase Bank canceled the credit cards of retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. So what our tensions have turned, like I said, I talked about the hurricane that hit Louisiana. I've talked about Afghanistan in previous videos, but with all this stuff going on, this is what's going on, and you're not going to report it. And if they report it on the mainstream media, other than maybe Fox or OANN or Newsmax. But when I say mainstream media, I don't mean them because they're not mainstream media in the sense that people don't watch them like that. They'll complain about Fox News and stuff, but you never really see them throw in Newsmax and One America News. But here it goes. On Saturday, Twitter permanently banned Alex Bernsen, who built a large social media following, challenging public health establishment orthodoxy on COVID issues. And it goes here, goodbye Twitter, Bernsen headline, the announcement of his banning on his Substack page. Good thing he still has his Substack page. And you know what? We need to, if he goes to like Gab or Clout Hub or whatever alternative media site, social media site, he needs to get followers on there. This is ridiculous. You have they not learned from what happened? How many conspiracy theories became conspiracy fact from one time, from let's say the beginning of 2020 to the end of 2020. So, all you're doing is blocking speech and free association. Well, I shouldn't say free association. You're just banning speech and you're banning dissent. That's all you're doing. And all you're going to do is just drive traffic to other social media sites. Here's the problem, and this is why I said we need to settle on one. This is why I was like, Mike Lindell wasted his money trying to make one site. Trump has another site. All these people creating, look, just settle on one. You wasted all that money. That's money you could have gave, let's say, I'm a fan of Gab. It's money that you could have gave to Gab, so like that we could keep on one platform. Granted, I don't mind having multiple platforms because you don't want a monopoly. You don't want them to get Gab to get power hungry and ban people. But that's that's what I mean. You got white supremacists on Gab, so I will say that I will say that as a matter of fact because it's happened to me. But you know what? I've banned a couple of them, and some of them I hope to maybe open their eyes. But it is what it is. So, but then this what's going on. Google's been demonetizing people, and look, the Gateway Pundit, like them, hate them. They are a right-leaning news source, and you don't have to like it. But for Google to do this, you're going to say they don't have right-leaning sponsors that pay to put up ads that you can't run on the Gateway Pundit. It's ridiculous. So it's another one. Let's go on their site, increase their traffic. But this needs to stop. This needs to stop and Google's not going to do it. Hopefully someone out there that has the money can create an ad site so to compete with Google, so like that they can't do this to conservatives. It's ridiculous. And last but not least is this whole thing with the credit cards. Removing, what is it any, Chase Bank is a business. What is it any of their business that they have a credit card with General Flynn? Everyone, Antifa has credit cards. White supremacists have credit cards. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to judge Chase Bank on who they're doing business with. It's like you spend money, you have money, you're gonna look for this stuff. So to me, for this to go on, it's scary. It's the evolution in us becoming like China, because China has this social credit score. So it's like, oh well, you're undesirable, so we're not going to do business with you. So we're going to cut off your credit cards. We're going to cut off your access to your money. I mean, where are we going? How is it that China's already doing this and now we're going toward there? We're supposed to be a free country. But like I said, once again, I said, hopefully there's a conservative out there that will fill in the gap. This is what you guys want to do. You're going to force conservatives to create a parallel economy, have a conservative create a credit card company. That's what they're going to do. You're going to force conservatives. You're trying to squeeze them and hoping that that'll make them change. What you're going to do is you're going to force richer, you're going to well-to-do conservatives to do stuff like that. Create a separate bank, create a separate credit card company, create a separate pay account to like alternatives to like PayPal and stuff like that, alternative to Zelle, stuff like that, that you're going to force it. And then what's going to happen is we're going to have we're already divided as a country as it is, but it's going to get even worse. So I just these stories need to be talked about. I don't, since the mainstream media does a shitty job, then I was like, oh, you know what, this needs to be spoken about. I hope it gets out there. These stories of tyranny, because this is all leading toward tyranny. This is all leading toward government control. And you're going to say, oh, but Chase is a private company and Twitter's a private company. Yes, but you know what? They have government contracts. Twitter is backed by the government in the sense that they've become an arm of the government. They become an arm of the Democratic Party. So, but we got to fight it. That's why I stay there on Twitter. Um, I post my videos on there. And sometimes I interact with people on Twitter. Not a lot, not that much, but when I feel compelled to. So, anyways, I am exhausted. Today was the first day of school for kids. I didn't where I live, and maybe got 3-4 hours of sleep. I had, I've been telling you about my flooding. I've had to clean my studio um, thoroughly. Still not 100% finished. There's still other things I got to do, but I did as much as I could do today. I actually made myself more space, so I don't feel so cramped anymore, but I'm exhausted. So I hope you guys had a happy Monday. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Like I said, pray for the people in Louisiana, and as the storm reaches up, because I'm supposed to get the tail end of it, all that moisture. Hopefully, you don't get any more flooding. Pray to God that doesn't happen. We got to fight this tyranny. We got to fight. Got to protest. Got to we got to protest. We got to support companies that. You got to support the companies that help us in this, get news out. You got to, get traffic to the Gateway Pundit. Encourage, conservative billionaires. Hey, we'll patronize you, when you create these companies. That's why, as much as I fight, as much as I put this video up on YouTube, I make sure I put it on Rumble, because when YouTube tries to censor, that's what Rumble's there for. And hopefully Rumble gets big enough that, they get to the point where I'll be like, screw YouTube. But I'm not there yet. But, well, I shouldn't say that. Hopefully we get to that point where we could just go, okay, nobody really watches YouTube anymore. They really watch Rumble. So anyways, have a good one. I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, I'm exhausted. Have a good one. I'll be more energetic tomorrow.